Hey, Mary and Chris is going to do a goniometer test on Mary. So we're going to go through all of the actions that are going to be on the test. So Chris, please say out loud what you're doing as you're doing it and your axis. So let's go.
So we're going to be measuring ranges of motion.
Okay.
So knock knock. Hello, how are you doing, Mary?
Good.
My name is Chris. I'll be your OT practitioner today, and today we're going to be measuring your ranges of motion. And I'm going to wash my hands first. Okay, wash my hands. Sanitizer over here, actually. I know I've been touching random people. Okay, so we're going to do several different motions. So first we're going to measure your flexion, shoulder flexion. So you're actually going to go all the way up. And over here, you want to make sure that the position is stable. So feet are on the ground, back straight, head forward. And she's going to go through a full flexion, which is going to go up all the way to as high as you can. Axis is going to be right over here at the acromion process, and you're going to measure a stable arm is going to be perpendicular to the ground, and you're going to follow the arm with the axis at the shoulder. So we're going to come over here, and she's at about 135, so about 135.40. Okay. Next motion is, and she shouldn't be on.
She should be on a stable chair. So Mary, can we switch you out real fast? Awesome.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a shoulder extension, and we're going to actually move her so that she's a little bit to the side, so move all the way to your right. And we're going to have her arm down, and then she's going to move her arm backwards as far as she can. And if she's not within normal range, you ask her if she can give you any more without pain. And that's the other thing I'm not sure if I mentioned, was if there's any pain, she has to let us know in case there is, so we can stop. And again, the non-movable arm is going to be perpendicular to the ground, and we're going to follow the arm. And it's going to be at the shoulder, is where the axis is. So she's going to be around 45 degrees. Next movement is going to be a shoulder ABD, abduction. So you're going to go out to your side, you're going to have palms forward, and you're going to go back as far as you can. This I'm going to go to the back. Again, we're going to go and, there you go. We're going to go perpendicular to the ground. We're going to go to the posterior side of the acromion process, and we're going to follow the arm. And she's at around 160. Okay, shoulder adduction is neutral's at 0 already, so there is no measurement for that. We're going to go and do shoulder horizontal abduction and adduction. So we're going to come out to the side, and this is your neutral point. So we're going to go ahead and measure our baseline. Our stationary position is going to be basically the line of her shoulder to shoulder. So we're going to come up over the neck and on top, and we're going to go ahead and move it all the way like you're hugging yourself. Okay, this is going to be adduction. Okay, I'm at about 115, 120.
And are you measuring the middle of her arm on this? Just right there, correct?
Middle of the arm. And we're making sure that this is in line with the rest of her body over here.
Mm-hmm. Perfectly in line.
And don't be afraid to touch your patient. Okay, next we're going to do shoulder adduction. So we're going to come back here, and we're going to go backwards as much as you can. Make sure that they're not compensating. Keep them straight, and go arm up, and go back as far as you can without pain.
And once again, he is lining it up on the neck like this.
And some people measure against the ear, but that's not going to be really your mark. You have to just make sure that you're following the line of the and where the axis is. So this is going to be your point right here. Go back, keep your shoulder straight. Up. Okay. I'm showing in about. Can you go back any further?
That's as far as I can go.
Okay, so she only has about 20 degrees. Okay, so now we're gonna go and do, internal and external rotation. Neutral mark is gonna be basically this position, arms up at 90 degrees on the side from the shoulder, elbows bent at a 90 degrees. And we are gonna measure, this is your 0 line. And we're gonna go ahead and, let's measure this. There we go. Okay. While holding it, we're going to have her come up as much as you can, and you're going to look for any compensation. So this is a good position right here. Make sure that the arm's not moving, or the shoulder's not moving. And then we're going to measure this. And then your point, your axis is going to be right around here.
The whole front-end process.
Yeah. And that's at about 75, almost 80. Then we're going to, for the internal rotation, it's going to be the same thing, but you see how she's protracting. So we're going to want to keep it straight and go as much as you can with it until the point where she doesn't protract. And that's at about 55 degrees. Closer to 50 actually. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, that's all the shoulder, I believe. We're going to do wrist and forearm. So we'll start with forearm. Actually, you can scoot back out over here. Let's get a pencil. You want to have them keep their arm at the side, their elbow to the side to prevent from any compensation. So we're going to give them a pencil to hold. And this is your neutral line. This is 0. So we're going to have you, I'm going to move you this way. Be careful. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go upwards as far as possible. You're going to measure on the middle finger and where the pencil intersects. That's your axis. So she is at about just a little bit over 90 degrees for that.
For supination.
For supination. And then for pronation, she's going to go all the way the other way. Keep your elbow to your shoulder and go as far as you can. Okay. So she has actually a little bit less pronation. So she's at about only 75 degrees. And you want to keep this because if you notice, if you come out and go ahead and pronate all the way, she starts rotating. So you want to make sure that you're at your side, or either that or you control it. Okay, we're going to go to wrist. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to come on the floor, on the table, and we're going to do this. So we're going to have, it's already logged. Pause it.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Is it right if I lock the outside doors?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, the external?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Okay. So when you're measuring wrist flexion or an extension, you're going to follow the line of the radius and the line of the metacarpal. So you want to make sure you're not going center of the arm. And because the arm is pronated partially to get into this neutral position, it twists, or so it's going to kind of angle over here. So your axis is going to be your styler process, and you can feel for it over here. Go ahead, and then we're going to go ahead and flex. Flex. Wrist flex, yes. So our stationary bar is going to follow the radius, which is over here. This is your axis, and you're going to follow the line of the metacarpal.
So once again, he's not following her fingers. He's not following her knuckle. He's following the little chubby area in between of the thumb and the knuckle.
Yes, good explanation of that. So it's about 25, 30 degrees right over there. And we're going to do extension, and you're following the exact same lines.
Commentary.
So radius, this is your axis, and you're going to follow your metacarpal, the chubby part.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is actually, she has, go ahead and go as far as you can. So she has about 65 degrees. Okay, now we're going to do deviations. So when we're doing deviations, this is your neutral position. stationary bar is going to come over here on the wrist, and this one does go on the center. So, and your axis is going to be your carpal metacarpal joint. So you can feel for that by having them flex a little. Right there. And it's going to follow the third metacarpal. So as she deviates, go ahead and ulnar deviate. Stationary bar comes here. And it's deceiving, even though because of the tendons, it look like it's going over there, so you actually have to really feel for the bone. So the bone actually comes this way. Right there, so she's at close to 30 degrees. Now we're going to radial deviate. So we're going to go the opposite direction as far as you can go. Again, feel for your axis centered, and again feel for the metacarpal, which is going to be right around here. So it's around 20 degrees. There you go.
All right.
Yay, Chris.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Mary, our beautiful models.